morning and welcome to Coffee on the Coast. I am your host, Tina Prigge. I'm delighted today to be joined by Jamie Zastrow, Executive Director of the Manitowoc County Home Builders Association. Jamie, welcome to Coffee on the Coast.
Good morning.
How's everything going?
Good. Nice long weekend. It's nice to get back in the office and get this event rolling.
Right. You know, I heard a report on public radio yesterday about the construction industry and how during COVID, surprisingly, construction has boomed. Like people are doing home renovation projects and, refitting home offices and all that type of thing. Is that the same kind of information you've heard?
It is definitely the same kind of information that I get from my sources as well. There's a lot of information out there. The construction industry isn't just homes. I saw a news report too that showed slowing down and laying people off. And I'm like, well, that's not what I'm getting in the home building industry. That probably takes into consideration some big commercial projects and things like that. So the home builders are very busy. People are rethinking their homes. Real estate is booming and there isn't a lot of inventory to buy a new home necessarily. So people are re-looking at some of their spaces. Sometimes you don't always need to move to make your house work. You just need to reconfigure your space a little bit, and you'll see some of that in our parade of homes this week as we have some really extensive remodels opened up. 100-year-old farmhouse is one of them that reconfigured a lot of small little rooms for their kitchen and things from 100 years ago when you had a pie cupboard and things like that, and opened it up to great open concept entertaining space. So you'll get a good feel for new homes, but also how you can remodel and make your home work for your current life.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the upcoming Parade of Homes. The image that you see on the screen now has the dates. So it's starting this Thursday. Do you want to talk a little bit about the dates and the times?
It's this Thursday and Friday from 4 until 8 p.m. and then Saturday from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. There are no tours on Sunday.
Great. So those are physical in-home tours, and it sounds like you've taken some precautions for COVID.
Correct. Definitely have taken precautions. We're following the CDC and the state DHS, and we get a lot of advice from both our national and our state organizations and are able to duplicate what other communities are doing. But obviously in Manitowoc County and the state of Wisconsin, masks are required. We've taken extra cleaning precautions. We have hand sanitizer in every entrance of the home, provided by B&M Waste, which is really nice. We've got members that have been able to provide some of these things. And we have extra volunteers on site. We will limit how many are in a home at one time. That won't necessarily be the same at every home, depending on the size and spaces that you're looking at. So we're really trying to keep this safe so people can still have a great experience and talk with contractors and trade partners and things on site. But we also realize that 2020 is the year of virtual everything. So we have taken that leap as well. Offering a virtual option for the 4 homes that you can tour in person, but adding 2 more homes to the virtual tour. So it's 6 homes total starting September 19th.
So that is very cool. So there are the homes, the physical homes that can be toured. And then following that, you have a virtual tour of the homes. So Correct. There are multiple ways then that people can experience this. They can go in person, or they can just do the virtual tour, or they can go in person. And then, I feel like the way I might maximize this is go in person and then use the virtual tour after to be like, oh my gosh, that countertop in, Parade Home 3, I really loved. What was that?
That's the nice thing about the virtual tour is it will be up and running for a very long time. So you could probably check back in the spring and, hey, I remember when I saw this really cool thing and, on this Cleveland Avenue home and go back and reference that and get that information months down the road. And that's how I work too.
Well, I love it because otherwise previously you didn't necessarily have that reference.
Right. You would, well, I mean, if you're in the market, you're going to remember the contractors and you can call the contractors and things like that. And I definitely recommend doing that. They're a great source of information, but yeah, you can quickly go to our website and, oh, that was the house and get all of that information. Mm-hmm.
And so the website is where the virtual tour will be accessed.
Yes.
Do you want to tell people?
On the website, ManitowocCountyHomebuilders.com. We'll make it real easy from the front page, but there's also a tab on the top that says Parade of Homes, and that's where all the details will be.
Perfect. And is there a recommended way for people who are doing the physical tour? So I know there's a Parade Home 1, 2, 3. Do they have to start with that, or
No. And your ticket is good for all 3 days. So if you don't get into all the homes in one day, they punch that you've been in a home, but you're free to visit all 4 homes over the course of the 3 days.
Very cool. Well, and I think too, you've got a pretty cool resource available for people that are attending the Parade of Homes, and or even if they don't get a chance to go to the Parade of Homes, a resource that they can still pick up or access online, which is your magazine.
Absolutely. Twice a year, we're putting out this magazine. It's not just about the Parade of Homes, but obviously each home is described in there, and there are pictures and things like that. But some additional articles. I think this time we added articles about lighting and home offices and things like that are pretty relevant right now on people's minds, as we're trying to figure out what this new normal is and how your homes fit into that. Yes, those magazines will be at each Parade of Homes, but we also have distribution throughout the county, grocery stores and banks and retail stores and insurance offices. Quite a few of our members, the paint stores and things like that, will all have this on their counters. Real estate offices, things like that. We're really getting them spread out as much as we can. Obviously, it's online as well, so it's always an easy reference that way. But I'm still maybe old school, and I like a paper copy sometimes to keep around and mark pages and circle things. And there's a membership directory in there as well, which is also available online, but a really handy reference for those local, whether it be a contractor or a plumber or an electrician, finance companies, insurance, things like that. They're all in there.
So we just saw a quick sneak peek of the e-zine version of it, but you're right, having a paper copy is such a nice resource, especially with that directory that's in there that has
Correct.
all of the members of the Manitowoc County Home Builders Association.
Correct. Yeah, that's a great resource. There's lots of resources out there. They don't always give you local businesses to use, and a lot of those are pay to play. So there's a lot of them that pay a lot of money to get to get their information to you, where this is just a nice local reference for that business, for that industry.
I know a lot of people do like to do DIY projects, but what are some of the advantages to doing business with a Manitowoc County Home Builder Association member?
Well, I'm an HGTV junkie, and I think I can do it all too with my little toolbox or whatever. But yeah, ultimately, some projects are just more than putting paint on the wall, although we have some great painters too that can do that for you. Talk to your contractor. A lot of them are going to be honest with you about, you could probably do this yourself if you've got these skills. But most things, you're better off doing it right the first time. They have all the tools, they have the knowledge, they have the experience. Again, whether it be a contractor or a plumber or an electrician. And hey, if you have a project that needs all of those kinds of things, trying to schedule those things at the right time during your project can either make your project go a lot longer than you might like, but that's what a contractor will do, is they set a schedule so the electrician is in there before they put up drywall, or the plumber takes care of all the plumbing things before the next job needs to be done or the next task. So it's really important to just check in with them, and that's what they do. So your project could go a lot smoother.
They are the professionals, and they will on the back end too pull any of the needed permits and things like that are needed. Permits
are important. It makes sure that things are done right. They're not really a deterrent to a project. They just make sure that they're done safely and correctly. Contractors just bring, like I said, a lot of experience that the DIY person just doesn't have in their thought process sometimes.
And just the experience, because a DIY that's not what they are doing all the time, right? They haven't learned the mistakes and blah, 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 right? Because it might be the first time they're doing a project, whereas the contractors, they are the professionals. And I think we're really fortunate here on the Coolest Coast to have some really talented craftsmen, and it's cool.
We absolutely do. They stay on top of the trends and products. You know, we all think because we watch something on TV or see a commercial that we know what's out there and whatever, you know, whatever you have on your Pinterest boards or whatever, but they're really on top of what products work best and in certain applications can make recommendations that you may not even think about, or have access to products that you don't have access to. So they really are the way to go.
And it's awesome then with the Parade of Homes coming up this weekend. It's really a showcase of some of the, you know, design trends that you're talking about, some of the best practices, really just seeing their beauty, the craftsmanship, the innovation.
Absolutely. It's the best way for them to showcase their work. It's the best way for someone to get a feel for who they might want to work with too. You know, you're able to have a conversation and build a rapport a little bit. They're all a little bit different. So you need to know who you want in your home, who you can get along with and have a conversation about, because not everything is going to go perfectly from the get-go. So you've got to have a nice open line of communication with your contractor and or whether it be your tradespeople or whoever you're really letting into your home.
Right. Awesome advice. Well, there is a great opportunity this weekend to enjoy the Parade of Homes in person, or after that, virtually. And then, of course, if anyone has any questions, Jamie, they could always contact you at manitowoccountyhomebuilders.com.
Correct. Either by phone, by email. All of those are listed on the website.
Awesome. Anything you want to say before we sign off?
Thanks for having me. Can I give a shout out to some of our sponsors? We have sponsors for our Parade of Homes. That's always an important thing that makes these events happen. Manitowoc Heating and Refrigeration is our event sponsor. That's important. Century 21 Aspire Group, Brown Building Center, United One Credit Union, and Dalton Carpet Center is also our sponsors. And then I talked about the additional safety masks and hand sanitizer and cleaners and things like that provided by B&M Waste Service, Hallman Lindsay Paints, and Schneider Construction. So we're very thankful to all of those that help make these events happen.
It sounds like it's going to be a great event. I'm impressed that you were able to pivot and accommodate everything that's happening during this pandemic. I hope that people really enjoy the benefits of it. I'm really looking forward to seeing the print magazine once it comes out.
Yep.
Thank you so much for taking the time to share all this information with us this morning.
I'll mention one more thing. Tomorrow, the builders and I will tour all the homes. That's always my favorite night of the year, to get my own private tour, and I'll be snapping some pictures and putting them on our Facebook page. So if you don't follow Manitowoc County Home Builders Association on Facebook, go out there and like and get that in your news feed.
Awesome. Jamie, thank you so much. Take care.